The experience of us winning state championships were two very different experiences those years. The 2004 team, I mean, I was in my fourth year here as a head coach, and we really had a dominant team. We had the combo, which is high-end speed and talent at the top, plus depth, which is really a wicked combo when you're trying to win a competition.
We trained really hard. We started training almost doubles on some days as well. My favorite was Descent to Hell, where you had to swim hundreds on an interval till you can't swim hundreds on an interval. Then you switch to 75s, then you switch to 50s, then you switch to 25s. And that was one of my favorite practices. Every practice you were expected to do 100%. So she was amazing, always supporting and pushing us through.
I ended up switching colleges after my first year as a freshman at the University of Pittsburgh, and decided to move out here to figure out what other thing I could major in. And so I decided I still wanted to swim, and walked into Jill's office one day and said, "Hi, my name is Lauren, and I'd like to swim for you." And she sort of paused and was maybe cautiously optimistic, and started asking me questions about myself, and was a little surprised when I told her my 100 free time, and I kind of got the sense that she didn't quite believe me.
When we won all 5 with the 2004 team, we won all 5 relays at the conference meet, and our conference is one of the best conferences in the state. And I was like, holy smokes, like that is very rare when a team comes in and wins all 5 of the relays. And then we did the meet entries for the state meet, and we got the psych sheet back, and we were like at the top of the list. We were seated number 1 in a lot of individual races and the relays. And I remember just being extremely nervous as the coach because I was worried I was going to screw it up.
I used to do a 50 fly with no breather. And so the first half I would always be behind, and then I would turn around and I would beat everybody up. And she's always like, "Oh, you made me nervous. You made me nervous." But I won 50 fly, I won 100 fly.
Dan Greaves, he's the head Neptunes coach, and several of the athletes on our team had grown up swimming Neptunes for him as well. And I remember he pulled me aside, and I was just racked with, I was a ball of nerves before we went down there. And he's just like, "You need to get used to being number 1. Like, these women are ready to go. They're seated where they're supposed to be seated, and the hay is in the barn. They're just going to go out there and rip, and just let them do it." And they did.
I was just eager to get back to what I knew and what I was comfortable with, and started to kind of get a sense that maybe there were some other swimmers who were pretty good, and we had a good group of girls training pretty quickly at the time, and Jill seemed really excited.
Now, the equation with 2005 was completely different for 2 reasons. One is we were the defending state champions, so that puts a target on your back. Santa Rosa had won state titles, but the last one was in 1983. So 2004 was a lot after that. And we were not the favorites. We did not win conference championships. We had the talent. We had the top end talent with the 2005 team with both swimming and diving, but we didn't have as much depth as we had on the 2004 team. And Sierra had more depth. So they had the equation right to win the conference title. But we knew we were beating them in relays at conference, but they were the favorites. And that meet came down to the last race, literally the last race.
What really helped us to win state was not only us swimming individually, but also as a team, because we worked so hard as a team and had such fun at practice. Jill made it a really fun practice that I don't even remember thinking, like, I think my time at San Diego State was way harder than it was here, but at the same time, Jill's practices were extremely hard, but she made them fun. And I think the team members and how we had fun was what helped us to win state.
It was a life-changing experience to work that hard with a group of strong and powerful women that was led by a strong and powerful woman herself. And do something pretty remarkable together. You know, we went to states with just 8 swimmers, and we won it. We won it with just 8. And I think that speaks to the capability of the swimmers at the time. It speaks to the resilience of us at the time, how much we wanted it, how hungry we were for it, and how we had a leader in Jill to lead that way to really clinch it at the end.
And that meet came down to the last race, literally the last race. And I actually tell that story to my team every year, still to this day, about Heather Schmidt's 100 fly. Because once Heather won the 100 fly, we knew, regardless of the result with the very last relay, we knew on paper that we had it won, like we couldn't lose it. But Sierra was leading the entire meet. It's a 3-day meet, 6-session meet. Sierra had the edge until the last individual race.
On the very first day of practice, we were sitting just right over there. We were sitting at the lock in the bleachers, and Jill said to us straight up that we could do it again. I wasn't on that team. And so, you know, I had to look at the couple of girls that were sitting around who were state champs at the time and see in their face how much they wanted it again, and really take it from them that we can do this. And I think it was pretty evident very soon into the season that Jill was right, that we could do it.
And we woke up in the morning and that trophy was on a dresser. And I just pointed my finger, number 1, coach. And that kind of stuck around. So every time I see her, we always go number 1.
I think personally, at my core, you know, just having been a Bear Cub and a college swimmer myself, it's just thrilling to be a woman coaching women that are champions and swimming like champions and performing like champions. And that doesn't mean they won every race every time. That doesn't mean everything went perfect. That doesn't mean we had bumps along the way and tension along the way. But it's just an honor to coach women at a level like that and watch them have confidence and go out and take something. Like, take it. No one's going to give you a state title. You have to go get it. And they did.
I remember, you know, celebrating, being so excited, going out to dinner, you know, really just like bonding over the fact that we had accomplished our goals, which was to win state. I still have my state ring, and I don't wear it, but it is definitely something that I treasure, and you know, treasure being an athlete for the SRJC.
Coming here, the JC was my sort of farewell for myself to the sport, and I couldn't have imagined that being a happier experience, and it really allowed me to kind of put my swimming career to bed in a positive way, in a way that was really happy and meaningful for me. And so to be back here 20 years later, very much feeling like I had closed that chapter for myself happily and contentedly, to be getting this honor is a genuine surprise and surreal and just nice.
It's pretty amazing. I never thought that we would make it to Hall of Fame. I never thought that I would make it to Hall of Fame. I stayed in touch with a few girls from the team, but not many, as we all moved on. It's been 20 years. I'm sure we all have families at this point. I stayed in touch with Jill here and there, and her husband Pete keeps me in track. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited. It's an honor to be accepted.
And I wanted to keep going. That was never a question. I was going to do it. I was going to pull my weight. I was going to contribute. We were going to win states, and it was me to do this as part of it. And so I did it, right? And I'm not quite sure how I did it, to be honest, but, you know, was able to participate in the way that I wanted to do and drop time and you know, get the points that I was expected to make and eventually become an All-American as well, all with a pretty substantial amount of pain. I remember Jill knew that it was probably likely we were going to win. So my memory of her was her shoes were already off. Her phone was elsewhere. She was ready to get pushed in the water, and that happened. And then we went out to dinner that night, and I remember it was just joy. It was just joy to be able to celebrate together, to celebrate this huge thing that we accomplished together, and have fun. And just have fun and let let the entire season wrap around us in celebration.
I think the best part about this team and why they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame would be because not only did this team work really, really hard, but we had a really, really fun time doing all of this and getting to where we landed. I've been on, like I said, a lot of teams, and I think this one alone, we had so much fun that like the hard work was effortless.
The fact that we won every single event and we work hard and won all the relays, won all the races, I guess we earned it.
I'm still super proud of them, and I think they'd be surprised how often I think about them and how often I tell stories about them. They are part of the legend and the lore and the tradition that is Santa Rosa JC swimming. And I really lean into them and let their story be a part of our narrative still today.